guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Welcome to Hartung Family Farms. And today, we're gonna have a little bit of a hodgepodge video. You're gonna see me some stuff in Washington. You're gonna see this wheat. Man, do I really hate GoPros. I just lost everything that I was working with. Anyway, so let's go ahead and redo it. You're gonna have the boys combining this wheat, baling the straw, working the ground. I don't even know what all they did. And planting soybeans. So I don't know what all they filmed, but you're gonna get what they filmed. And then you're gonna have my dad doing whatever my dad does. So let's go ahead and get into that.
Well, this GoPro's been in here since spring, but it's summertime now. Actually, almost end of July. Corn's tasseling. And I'm not doing fall tillage. I am chisel plowing our wheat ground that we combined a few days back. We got it filled with now chiseling it. We're gonna disc it tomorrow and get it planted beans. Hopefully get 20-30 bushel of beans off this, make a little profit. Would be nice. We'll see.
Well, hey guys, I am out in Washington, Moses Lake, Washington to be exact. And I'm out here for work, here for about a week or so. Figured film a little bit while I'm out here. I'm at an RDO dealership, which is a John Deere dealer. They're a pretty nice store, I'm not gonna lie. They have a couple brand new 9RXs sitting here, a 9R 590, a 540, 36-inch tracks, spaced out wide, 120-inch centers. They have a couple brand new sprayers, R616 or 616Rs. That basically just means a 1,600-gallon tank. They got the 132-foot boom on there with ExactApply, carbon fiber. Know these things very well. Ooh, we got a 8960 coming out of the shop. That's pretty nice. Got a John Deere 8RX 340 with the saddle tanks on there. Whoop. With the saddle tanks. Oh, nice. So yeah, I'm out here for work. There it is in the middle of wheat. Oh, let's see what else. They're harvesting wheat, they're harvesting peas, they're harvesting barley in the area. Grass seed harvest. They harvest a lot of grass seed out in this area. This area is kind of like a little bit of a breadbasket. It has a little bit of everything. It has a lot of dairy, so a lot of hay, a lot of silage corn, a lot of corn, you know, for harvest as well. Then you got your wheat, your cereals. There's some canola out here, some field peas. Like I said, there's grass seed, and there's a lot of specialty crops like potatoes. Potatoes is a massive crop out here, as well as onions. I've seen quite a bit of them as well. They said if you name it, they'll grow it out here, except cotton. I don't know why they don't grow cotton, but that's what they do. So yeah, we're gonna drive around a little bit, see what we see. A bunch of X9 parts there, I see. A twin pack. I wonder what the heck that is. Like a low-cost baler? Huh. This thing looked kind of neat. 4940 with the weird tires, but if you look at it, I can tell why it's here. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Yep. Brand new self-propelled windrower. W260R. Bunch of choppers, bunch of 9900s, the big boys. And like I said before, they have a lot of specialty crops. So all these red equipment are potato things. So that's a hiller. I believe that's what you're using that about right now, where the crops are standing. You're just kind of driving through and making divots for some reason. I don't know why, but it's called hilling. Right here and right there are conveyors. So potatoes are very interesting. I'll show you guys tomorrow when I get out to the field. But basically, potatoes is a very high-yielding crop. Like corn is very high-yielding in our sense, but potatoes blow them out of the water, the tons per acre you get out of them. So you actually pile them in buildings, which is what you do to store them, instead of grain bins or anything like that. So to pile them, they have these conveyors that you basically dump from the truck into these conveyors, and they just pile them up into a building, and they're literally called pilers. I have no idea what this is. It reminds me of like a peanut harvester, but obviously you pick it up with a windrow and you dump it into that cart. I genuinely have no clue, but I would love to know. It's a Pickett equipment. edible beans. That's what it harvests. So looks like you just swath your beans in a windrow, you come through and pick it up, and it harvests them for you. Neat. They got some heads that I'm very familiar with back there. Got some HDRs. No idea what that is. It's a Schulte high-speed disc is what it looks like. I don't know. So yeah, really cool stuff out here. Really cool. But what's even cooler, like I said, is just the diversity of crops. So it is all pivot irrigated out here. You can kind of see there's a pivot right there. It's an alfalfa, and they got some straw bales sitting there, and I believe that's wheat, a very weedy wheat crop. Everything is under pivots, so they basically water them if you want to grow a crop, because it's literally a desert out here. Brand new 8R370 on 20-inch wheels. So like I said, I will get you guys some tour of the crops in the area, because it's really cool. This is literally a breadbasket of kind of the Northwest is what I've been told. They just can grow so many different things. If I remember, I was up in this area about 6-7 years ago or so, and I want to say there was even a marijuana field. I saw that because, or I had a hunch of that because it was a quarter section, so 160 acres, all fenced up, with cameras every 200 or 200 yards, something like that, and the fence had like the barbed wire and stuff on top. So they weren't messing around. It was pretty neat. But so we'll catch you guys tomorrow, or in this sense, in like 2 seconds. Before that, this crop's gonna get baled. Got some alfalfa sitting there. These right here are potatoes. So out in this part of Washington where I'm at, potatoes are very, very, very common. They're the main cash crop. And as you can see, that pivot is running. I mean, everything is pivot irrigated. What that means is basically there's this big old tower span that goes all the way to the center, and it just pivots around that. That's why it's called a center pivot. It just sprays water. Waters the crop. So yeah, these are potatoes. They're gonna be harvested in about a month and a half or so. Month and a half to 2 months. Pretty neat. You know, corn, you can maybe get 1 ton an acre out of them. Potatoes, you get 35. So I mean, the yield that you rob from the yield that you get out of the crop is impressive. Wheat, as far as you can see in the dryland areas, they really can't grow much else other than wheat. They can grow some pretty good wheat, depending on the moisture they get early in the growing season.
Okay, I'm back here. I got tater tot casserole with me. We're trying to get this cows and a bull in. We got a bull that's got to go to the vet. Must have got caught in some barbed wire or something, so we got to get him some penicillin and treat that wound, or we're going to have problems later on. So that's what we're doing here. And we searched for about an hour, and I finally found him way up in that far east field. So the white-faced bull's coming back behind me there, so that's the one we want. So hopefully we get him caught here in a little bit. So we'll see you down here in the pen.
Down here at the second house, just finally found them all after an hour and a half. Just opened that up so you can let all of them in.
What's a good word today, Tate?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we got him locked up, you can see. Now my phone's ringing. So there's construction on the Preston Highway, so that's why he's a little bit behind. So we got the bull in that we need. See if he's gonna let me take a look at him, but he keeps walking around. But I left 2 cows in here just to keep the bull content, because if I would have left the bull by itself, he probably would have busted through the gates. So bass.
Yes?
Battery's about dead too.
All your batteries are about dead.
Guys, welcome back to the Hartung farm.
Not yet.
Well, beautiful days.
What are you saying?
I don't know.
Okay, got the creep feeder down here for the calves. Creep feed in there, hopefully they'll go in and eat it. Okay, now we're gonna go up top and get the other one and bring it down so we can get the other calves eating it. So.
Hi.
Not all.
How's it going, Tate?
Great.
little foggy out today. Hey, I had a pretty busy day yesterday. We caught a bull, got him to the vet. Bad thing, oh, fog cleared up. Ah, cool. A tater tot casserole myself. Had a pretty busy day. We caught the bull after about an hour and a half, but Curtis came up and got that to the vet, got it cleaned up. We think it got caught in some barbed wire fence, and when he's pulling it out, his hoof out, it kind of ripped it all up. So we got to treat him for the next 5 days with penicillin to make sure it doesn't get infected. And then we moved some creep feeders around for the calves. Yeah, we had a pretty busy day. So then we actually sprayed the food plot too. So I don't know how that's going to work. I need a new sprayer. Any suggestions out there? I want a new sprayer. It has to be on a side-by-side. Actually, the back of my mule would be better. But anyway, I'm not too happy with my one I have now. I'm not going to mention the name, but I'm not happy with it at all. So I paid a lot of money for that, and it's not very well. So anyway, I'm back into Bellevue, and fog is gone. I have to umpire my last game tonight. It's the Cascade. I think it's like 77 years, 78 years. Anyway, I'm gonna go up there and do a couple games. I think Bellevue plays tonight, so go up and enjoy some baseball, and I get paid to do it, so life is good. Beautiful sunrise, and actually that's Illinois. Beautiful Jackson County, Illinois. We did get some much needed rain. We're still way behind on it. It's gonna affect the crop a little bit, but I don't know how much until we get into November when we get out. But so we can't predict Mother Nature, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, you guys have a good day, and we will talk to you later. And I'm out here looking for bugs, and I see them. These little buggers here. See how they eat that away and kill the plant. So Pat called me up and wanted me to check this out again. We checked it last week, and there's a lot of them, and there's still quite a few here. So we're gonna have to do some spraying on this here bad boy. So that one up there's got a whole bunch on it. See it up there? Yeah, we have some here. They're here. We'll have to get this sprayed. That means they all gotta get sprayed. So that field, this field, the field over there, and the fields up top. So, you know, they just kill that plant's what they do. Kill the plant. There's all kinds of them there. I'll give Pat a call and let him know what's going on. Out checking calves and cows. Pretty content down in there. They're just sitting in the shade, trying to keep the flies off. And now let's go ahead and head back to me, where I am out here crop scouting. So if you guys remember, card to this video right here, we had a little plot back here where we actually worked the ground. We VT'd it before we planted no-till, and we had a lot better stand because of it. I'm just out here right now just kind of see if we can tell a difference. And if we can't, ooh, gonna have to come out and spray bugs here at some point. So I'm just out here just kind of looking to see if there's a difference when we were working the ground versus where we didn't. I don't think I'm gonna be able to see much because really these beans look amazing. They're a little over knee high, really bushy, just starting to put on pods. So we got Japanese beetles out munching. We're gonna be spraying some fungicide and an insecticide here shortly. But I'm gonna go ahead and look at my phone and see if I can find those flags. There are flags that are being read about the bean height right now. I just don't know if I'll be able to find them. So as I'm out here, I'm looking at the beans. So we are putting fungicide on our beans this year. We really haven't ever done that before. So we're really kind of experimenting a little bit this year. But what fungicide does, it basically keeps the plants alive longer, keeps the diseases away. It's basically essentially like giving you aspirin. That's essentially what this is. But you want to put fungicide on when your beans get to R3. So R3 is when you're the first 4 nodes of your plant, which your nodes are right here. These guys are just starting to put on pods that are over 5 millimeters. So right there, we're just getting to R3. Actually, we might even be getting closer to R4 too. But every one of these flowers you see right there, those are going to become soybean pods in the next couple weeks. They're going to develop and fill out. Pretty slick. Oh, I am going to try and maneuver my way
and not kill these things. Maneuver my way to where I put GPS pins of these flags. So you can kind of see some of these spots are really thin. This is where it was not worked, I guarantee you. Because that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid these thinner spots. So like I said, I don't think I'll be able to see a difference, but you never know. I think the yield monitor is really gonna tell the story. Yeah, I should have came out here earlier because I cannot find them. Oh well, they're just little flags. They'll just get chewed up in the combine. Should have came out here earlier when they were smaller, because I definitely saw the flags earlier, but that's been the these flags are, like I said, 2 feet tall, but the beans are well over 3 feet tall in spots. These are up to my hips. Good looking soybeans. So you can kind of see Pat only sprayed the outside round of this. We still have a little bit of volunteer corn. There's a ragweed right there. There's some water hemp runner, like right there. There's a water hemp patch. So we have some weeds in here that we need to get in and spray. No idea what happened to you. You're sick. And when we do that, we're gonna spray fungicide on here as well. So Pat's gonna be working on that here shortly. But overall, these beans are looking way too good for the growing season that we had. I mentioned in previous videos that we've been very blessed. Yeah, that's what we don't like. I think VTing is gonna be the way to go. But we've been very blessed to have the growing season that the crops that we have for the growing season that we have had. We're hoping that it finishes up because it's looking promising, especially the beans. The corn's still looking good too. We're gonna go over there and check some corn out here in a second. So hold your horses. Pretty awesome looking beans. Like I said, we did plant soybeans in those wheat. So we combined the wheat. It yielded tremendously, above 120. And then we baled 64 straw bales off of there, which is awesome. Really cheap bedding. And then we planted soybeans. So we, I should say, we hauled a bunch of manure. We chiseled, disced, soil finished, and then planted a bunch of soybeans. So I'm curious to see how they grow. But regardless, try not to kill beans as I'm walking back. I'm really trying to focus on not killing beans. But regardless, even if the beans only make like 20 bushel or so, this is going to be a very profitable crop because we sold our wheat, all like 2,000 something bushels of it. We sold that for $7 something bucks. Not too bad for a pretty cheap crop. All I had was nitrogen, manure, which is free, and then 2 sprayer passes. Pretty cheap crop if you ask me. And now we're getting into our cornfield. This is always our bread and butter. I mean, this field has had 40 plus years of just manure every year, so it's a good producing farm. And the corn is not disappointing just by the outlook of it. It is well past pollination. You can kind of see this is your tassels. See all this fuzz in there? Pollinates the silks, and each one of these hairs or silks becomes a kernel of corn. So I'm looking for diseases right now. We do have some disease coming on. Looks like tar spot, the beginnings of it. Could also be gray leaf spot. Not 100% sure on the diseases, but we are gonna be planning on spraying fungicide here the next 2 weeks on corn. And again, just like soybean fungicide, corn fungicide just gives it like aspirin. It helps kind of keep the diseases at bay and keeps the plant alive longer. The longer you keep your plant alive longer, the more nutrients and girth it can pack into the ears. But let's go in a little bit and let's do some ear counts. Don't want to go in too far because I hate getting itchy. Corn stuff is itchy. This looks like a pretty representative plant. All these plants have 2 ears. It's nuts. Let's go ahead and pick this guy. I'm just gonna do 1 plant just because. I'm gonna kill it so it doesn't rob any more resources since we're already stealing the kernel, the ear. Went in about 8 to 10 rows. Let's do some licky. We had such a dry year. I bet we do have a pretty shallow or very narrow cob. Probably 16 around is probably the biggest we're gonna see, is my guess. 1, 2, 3, 14 around. So we're definitely gonna lose some top end yield because your cob diameter is set early in the year and we had 0 rain for 50 days. So when you do that, you're gonna have some pretty narrow cobs. And this is no difference. Let's count the length. 48 long. If this would actually come to fruition, this would be the longest ears that I've ever seen. Usually 40 is a good length to shoot for. But like I said, when you're pretty narrow diameter, you can afford to get a little longer. I'd still rather be thicker in diameter, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's what your corn's gonna be. Next time you guys see it, it'll be probably getting chopped because I'm gonna be gone for the next 4 weeks, as I've mentioned in prior episodes and videos. I'm over in Denmark. You guys, actually the next video that you guys see will probably be from me in Denmark. I'm looking forward to doing that. So let's go ahead and head back. I got Daisy sitting over there, and I need to close out this video because I got some stuff to do before I head to Denmark in a couple days. Something about corn. Die, weeds, die. Well, I am going to be heading home. Sorry, Daisy and I are going to be heading home. So thank you guys so much for watching. Greatly appreciated. As always, take care, take it easy, stay safe. Until next time, as always, ta-ta for now.